Before coming to Slovenia, I knew little about how people was living. Maybe some people can say, though you are foreign, you are for different culture, yes, but all we are human, but culture is only something that you can try to understand.
Zelo zgodaj vstajate, vi Slovenci.
No, but my neighbor's dog gets up early. You get it?
Že ob 6:30 med tednom imamo mašo, rožni venec pa že molimo ob 6.
And when I get inside the class, all the students stand up. It's something that even in Africa, even in France, they don't exist again.
When I first came and saw my timetable, that I actually have to be in work and teaching at 8 o'clock, I was horrified, and I still am, to be honest. I can't quite get used to that.
V Sloveniji je bil enkrat referendum, da bi spremenili delovni čas, da bi ga premaknili od 9 do 5. Takšen referendum ni uspel in tudi ne bo uspel, ker ljudi radi grejo rano v službi in se vrnejo domov čim prej, da lahko kaj naredijo.
That affects everything. It affects the time that people eat, and it affects what people eat. You know, I remember being at the faculty, seeing some of the administration there, you know, having malica maybe at 9:30 or 10 in the morning, and one of the women had a beer, and she was eating Dunajski zrezek, and I was like,
well, my house is across Interspar, and every time I look from the window, no matter when, the parking is always full. It's like people are getting food for free. I think it's amazing that this has become the way of the socializing of the people, the family time.
I think it's very shocking to me always how brutal I think Slovenes are to each other.
Ljudje so bolj indiferentni do sočloveka.
And here it's quite rare where actually someone will say thanks.
Even in a place like New York, which is famous for being, you know, rude, people will hold the door open for you. People, you know, will stop and let you go, or, you know, if you fall, someone might come and say, hey, can I help you up? I've been here now for a few years, and I don't really remember anyone holding a door open for me.
But then, you know, you can be in I've been in like a doctor's waiting room, and, you know, there's like 5 or 6 people in there, and every time some new person comes in, they say, Dobar dan, and everyone says Dobar dan back, and then when they go, they say Na svidenia, and everyone says Na svidenia back, and it's really strange. You would never do that in the UK, you know. If someone came into the waiting room and said hello to you and goodbye, you'd think that they're in the doctors for some mental problem, you know.
Kada se srečaš z ljudmi, oni kad sam Čau, hej, dobar dan, ne, živijo, ni nič, se ne poljubiste, se ne daste roke, se ne nič.
One day I forgot that I'm not in France no more, I'm in Slovenia. I want to give that you on, boom. I say, wow.
If I was meeting a friend, perhaps in Scotland, we'd probably meet in a pub somewhere or go and have an alcoholic drink somewhere. So the coffee thing.
Meni se zdi, da tu grejo ljudi bolj pogosto na kavo, ne. Gremo na pijačo, gremo na kavo, ne.
Actually, I didn't drink any coffee until I moved here. Now, I drink more coffee than I should, and enjoy it. It's part of the culture.
One day I was in Ljubljana because normally here in Kope I drink Lashko. I said Lashko, and the barman was so hungry. He come to me, what? Lashko? You are in Ljubljana. You have to drink Union.
Morda kakšen sok.
Pa vam?
Koderco vode.
Aha, prav.
Če se da še kaj okrog cene dogovoriti?
No, jaz mislim, da je Slovenija precej zaprta za biznis. Glede na majhnost Slovenije kot država, ne, je ponudba izjemno velika. Vsega je preveč, konkurenca je zelo huda.
I think that good things come in small packages.
To me, it seems like it's a country full of entrepreneurs, you know, all kind of fighting the mountains of bureaucracy that exists here, to get out on top.
Zdravat sem opisal, to je živo sem, izvoli.
Tako, lepa hvala.
Hvala in tebi.
Hvala za sodelovanje.
Veliko uspeha ti želim, no?
Enako.
Najde srečno.
Slovenci ste odlični, super, mega, the best vozniki.
Good drivers. Okay, where did you hear that?
No, slišala sem, pa tudi parkrat sem opazila na cestih, da so Celjani.
Celjani vozijo še bolj agresivni kot drugi, ne?
You and the Italians, you know, I think you've got this thing in common, you know. I can be on the highway, nothing behind me for 3 or 4 kilometers, and I'll look in my mirror, you know, 10 seconds later, and I have this Audi flashing his lights at me, you know. So close that I can't even see his lights sometimes.
You can't go 10 kilometers in America and not see a police officer on the road. So if you drove like that, you would go to jail.
Radio SI World News.
It is 12 o'clock. Time for the news. Dejan Zavets defends his boxing world championship. It was a very big culture shock coming from New York, where the attitude to work is very brutal. You're working very long hours. You're not expected to go on any kind of vacation. And you're basically just working all the time. And here there's definitely a more relaxed attitude to working. You see people like, oh, kak si sexy danes, and saying things like this. And it was a total culture shock. I didn't know what to do when I first started.
Ja, to je zanimivo v radiju, ne? Slovenski radio, ne? Dejansko vedno je mešanica vseh.
Lots and lots of Croatian music.
Dalmatinsko glasbo.
Kar se mi zdi včasih morda v nasprotju s tem, kar se govori.
I do find it a little bit strange that such a small country has so many radio stations, and yet so many of them seem to be playing exactly the same kind of pop hits from the 80s.
For me, it's great because I grew up in the 80s. And all the music I used to listen to from the 80s is still played here in Slovenia.
Nekako je že 50 let ni aktualno, ne? In potem zatem imaš kakšen remix, rekem res elektronskega. Recimo, če jaz prškem radio, to je loterija, čisto loterija.
This is Massive Attack's Angel for Sandra.
Razlika je bistvena, ko je tu, recimo pri nam je kosilo nedelja, zdaj je to kosilo 12, 1, 3, pač ko bo pripravljeno. Dočim je v Sloveniji je to malo drugače.
Kosilo mora biti točno poldne.
Amir, te pa še dvojne špagete, boloneze, pa tukaj malo bolj, ker tamari borčana.
I was working in Kungota, and it was very busy and I didn't have enough help, and so I screwed up with the pasta. If penne should be cooked usually piece like this, it was big like this. I had to serve this because everybody was waiting, and I served this and I was just waiting for the complaints that, what is this you give us, you Italian cook? It came to me that the guest who ate this pasta was so happy, and he said it was the best pasta that he had in his life.
What I like about the food is it's very hearty.
Because I'm half Slovenian, I also love meat.
Župe so tu bolj aktuelne.
Big pastas, not like Italians.
One of the first things that I noticed was how Slovenes seem to be obsessed with salad.
You have a salad that you will eat together with everything. They just put everything in front of you and salad everything. And sometimes I was so confused that I will start with salad or I will start with this one. I don't know. They say, okay, start. There's no matter. You can eat normal. Huh?
Hi, come in. This is Eva, my colleague. When people ask us to sell their house, you know, it's easy for us to have a set of keys. You know, so when we have a buyer, we can let ourselves in, show the house, etc. But you guys don't want to give us keys. You know, it's like you don't trust us, and you would prefer to like drive 100 kilometers, yeah, when we have a viewing and open the house, rather than to give us a set of keys. So that's kind of strange because in the UK, you just give your real estate agency the the keys, and they'll tell you when they're coming and going, but you don't have to be there.
Slovenski kupec v teh zadevah je zelo zahteven kupec. Zahteva in kvaliteto, in ceno, in servis.
You guys don't seem to like anything second-hand, you know? You like everything new and shiny.
Jaz mislim, da je to eden od najbolj zahtevnih narodov v Evropi in nasploh na svetu.
Ja, v bistvu, če tukaj pogledamo, je postaja tamle par minut stran.
When we were children, the way home on the bus was all the time a special experience, every day. We had one bus. It was a school of around 5,000 children that every 1 hour, around 1,500 finished their day of school. And everybody wanted to go on the first bus home. The bus driver, in the beginning, he stops and everybody just jump on the bus, nobody pays. And then it had to come to a situation that we had to have a police. Here, everybody are standing in line, one after another, going very organizedly to the bus, and that's it.
Slovenians are hard worker. Even I stay in school, because I want to show that I'm working more. If you want to be integrated in the Slovenian society, you have to be hard worker.
Moraš biti priden.
O njem vsi govorijo, da veliko dela, veliko je naredil že.
Če si len, potem vsi ti gledajo zelo negativno.
Ona je Slovenec samo radi.
Danes ne moremo govoriti samo o alkoholikih in podobno, odvisnikih, ampak lahko govorimo tudi o deloholikih.
In Slovenija, house is very, very important.
Moja hiša je moj grad.
Ko imaš svojo hišo, to nekaj pomeni,
Okay, you do get an old house in a village that is empty, but the majority always looked after.
Yeah, they have their facades painted up in really nice colours.
Zadnje čase zdaj opazim eno takšno modo, žive barve, fasad. Tako da včasih, če gledaš kakšno hišo, kot da bi bila kakšna papiga. Barve, kombinacije. Včasih niti ne grejo skupaj, ampak...
Glavno, da ima nekaj posebnega,
Vedno se gradi bolj moderne hiše, bolj razkošne hiše.
Pri vhodu granit in se malo preveč fancy, preveč, kot da so bogati.
My impression is that Slovenians change the roofs like people change their underwear, it's all the time, and they'll see a roof that's 20, 30 years old and be like, oh, the roof needs changing,
We went out and we bought some small trees, the ones you can see growing down there. And when it came to planting, they said to me, will you do it? And I said, yes, of course. So I started doing it, and then there were several people there started saying all different things.
Giving advice.
Giving advice, really. And the person who was in charge told them to be quiet because I would know what I was doing because I was a gardener.
Iz službe ko pridejo domačini ali pa sosedi, ko jih opazujem, to je na hitro nekaj poje, pa ga vidiš na vrtu.
They do shift work and they will come home and start again out in the fields, then they work till quite late.
Posebej gledajo na urejanje hiše, okolice, ker imajo občutek, da sosed ima boljše urejen vrt, tako da se on bolj pogna v tej smeri, da je hiša, vrt urejeno in da je red.
Grmo je in to mora biti